publishing stuff like that, especially on the internet, in blogs and so on. And so I figured my work was done there, and so I called it quits with a big last issue. And the library has produced a digital version of the complete run of the magazine, which will be up on the website eventually.
Wow.
So people can see the whole thing.
Wow. How often did you put that out?
It was approximately twice a year.
So there's like 60, almost 60 issues.
It's 54 actually. There were a couple of years where I just didn't have any money and I could only do one, and that sort of thing.
How many issues, or how many copies of each issue did you usually print?
Well, in the last few years I did about 250, 225, something like that. And there are still some complete sets available.
Do you feel, so now since it's much easier to do stuff like that, through the internet and connect, I don't know, do you feel something's lost with print journals being?
Well, yeah, I like things in print. I like a book. If it's on the internet, an e-book, I have to print it out or read it. And so you do lose that. I should say that the activity that I was doing with the magazine has been in part continued with the collection at the library, only on a sort of more massive scale, because there's thousands of pieces of individual work that are involved, rather than a few hundred in an issue or two of the magazine. So the way I go about curating the collection is very similar to how I went about editing the magazine, basically.
So it's an ideal job for you then to curate this.
Yeah, which makes it harder to retire.
Yeah. So you enjoy going to work every day?
Well, yeah, mostly, except when I have to deal with the university bureaucracy and all that stuff, which can get hard to deal with at times. But that's the way life is in a big university or any big institution.
Let's see. Well, you worked in film a bit too, right? How have you done anything? It looks like it's been a while though since you've.
Well, actual film, it has been a while. Lately, the past couple of years, I've done some video work with Nicolas Carras, who's a videographer, video artist who lives in Paris. He's French, lives in Paris. I've done quite a bit with him. We have one DVD out, and another one is in process, and will be out soon. And there's a third one on its way. So I don't do video myself, but I do like working with people who do. So
I'm trying to remember. One of your poems is just 2 words, right? Sheet and...
The shirt, the sheet.
That's the shirt, 4 words. Sheet. Okay, the shirt, the sheet. Now, when you perform that, how long... Did you perform that, or was it only...
I've performed that many times.
Okay.
How long does it go on? Depends on... it's... every performance is different. Different length. It becomes a vehicle for a certain kind of emotional expression and structure, and what that is depends on where I am at the moment.
Cool. What's any particular memorable performances of that?
Well, no, they're all unique.
Or a place you felt it got a very big response? Or?
I don't remember. People usually seem to like that one. I have some others that I do, mantras like that. Be blank is another one. The same, the same, the same, the same. I can go on for a while.
What do you think people connect with when they see that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Why do you think it gets a rise out of people?
Well, Bob Grumman wrote a little bit about that once from a recorded version of it, and he said, "First time I started listening to this, I thought, what is this? It's just the same thing over and over and over again." But then he said, then I started to get into it, and I forget exactly what he said, but he was basically he found that it was a structure of emotion, and that it was a sort of like a music composition, and it is sort of spontaneous, improvised musical composition or performance. Although it's based on a pre-established text. Not a long one, but pre-established text.
So the shortest one is just the same, 2 words.
Probably, or one of the shorter ones at least, yeah.
Wow.
When I was in college, I did a lot of acting, and that has informed the way I perform my work. The poem or the mantra or whatever it is a script to act. I'm not the John Bennett who's talking to you. I'm John Bennett, the writer, or who inhabits that poem at that moment and performs it. And so it'll be different every time I do it. One of the roles that I remember the most that I did as an actor, I played Lucky in Waiting for Godot. And I memorized that whole speech. He has just that one long speech in there. And did that, and I was just yesterday. We have a big collection of Beckett in the Rare Books Library, and we just moved into the building, and so we're reshelving the collection. And I was reshelving some of Beckett's stuff. Pulled out an acting copy that we have of Waiting for Godot and reread that speech, and it has devices in it, repetitions especially, that are things that I do today in my own writing. Well, the mantra is a repetition to an extreme degree.
Okay. So Beckett was also,
I guess so,
an influence on you, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to?
I've been a lifelong student of Bach, and his structures have been probably more of a clear influence on how I structure my poetry than anything I can think of, anything literary. But Baroque music in general, Asian music, having lived in Japan, that takes me back. And I listen to a lot of Asian music, African music, contemporary music, Xenakis, Cage, and so on. That's all great stuff.